Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Rabbi Hershen here from Tampa, Florida. Sending you my well wishes and hoping that we all have a peaceful and relaxing Shabbat. This Shabbat is called by our tradition Shabbat Hagadol, the Great Shabbat. It is the Shabbat that precedes the penultimate holiday of Judaism. It's the Shabbat that precedes the holiday that represents the most observed Jewish observance of the year of the Jewish people. And of course, we're referring to Pesach, Passover. I'll tell you why I love Passover so much. I've always toyed with what is it about it that makes it so extraordinary to me. And there have been studies that have been done, or rather there have been surveys that have been done to find out what is it that Jewish people observe, right? What are our traditions? What are we most loyal to in terms of this large amount of rules and obligations and traditions that we've inherited from our ancestors, or from God, rather, sorry. And Passover tends to rank at the top every single time people ask this question. More people will observe some form of Passover than will observe the high holidays or other things. And it's odd, but it's meaningful. And so for me, I think one of the reasons that I've always loved Passover was that it allows for us to, by many measures, march to the beat of a different drummer than the rest of the world, to feel like we're in the same boat as other people, right? That all of us as Jewish people are celebrating and rejoicing and observing this holiday some way, one way or another. And this year, as we are getting ready for Pesach, it's interesting, but we're all in this even more together now, right? All of our Seders are going to look a lot more similar this year than they are going to look different. All of us are feeling a lot of the same stresses that are going on in this world right now. And so I think even more so this year, we're all in the same boat and we're all doing very similar things. And I think there's something very beautiful about that. Now on Passover every year, we call it Chag HaAviv, the spring festival. Why do we dip parsley in salt water? Because the parsley represents the new life, the new spring, the new time. And it is important to recall that Aviv, that spring, is all about hope. It's all about seeing that after a long winter, where there was more darkness than light, we are now approaching and building towards that time where there'll be more lightness than dark. And while we're not there yet, that comes later on in the year as we get towards summer, but we are certainly building less and less darkness and more light each day right now. And I want to say that that is the only way that we can really cope right now with what is going on in our world, is to see that at some point in time, this will come to an end. That at some point in time, we will get more light than darkness. That at some point in time, we will be able to go out of our houses and go out to dinner with friends and to see movies and to see plays and to go to sporting events and to gather. It will happen again. This has already been long and difficult and draining on all of us. We all feel that pain biyachad together. But there is hope. As Chag HaAviv, as the spring holiday will teach us, that hope is real, that hope is necessary, and that hope has arrived. Now, that parsley that I spoke about, I told you we dip that in the salt water, right? The salt water of our tears. So what does it mean that our hope is in our sadness and our tears? Well, it's a good question. And I think that what it means is that in our case right now, there will be a lot of tears left to remember all this time. There are a lot of tears that are going to get us to our hope. But regardless of everything and anything, that the parsley, the hope, will come out of the tears. That we will emerge whole and broken all at once. We will emerge from this together because we've learned what it means to be apart. And that hope will win. So the message for this Passover, as we get towards it, is very important that we all listen. There's nothing that we want more right now than to be together at Seder. We're not going to be. It's too dangerous. We know in our tradition that we live by the mitzvot, we don't die by them. B'chai b'chem. And so we have an obligation to choose life, an obligation to affirm life. And that obligation pushes us to take the time to be with those who we live with and to be separated from those that we don't. So please do not play with fire. Please recognize that we all need to stay home, stay away from other people, and make this horrible plague of the modern day go away. And we have to stop the spread. And the only way to do that is to be distanced. And it won't work if we gather together. So please do not attempt to have a Seder with other people. Please remember that life is the most important blessing that we have. And our lives are worth protecting. And the lives of others are our obligation to safeguard as well. So I want to wish you all a Shabbat Shalom. I'll be talking to you before Passover again. But in the meantime, Shabbat Shalom.